It's going down. This is your boy Jay Gibson. You know what I mean? CEO, co-founder of Boss Talk Nation, the #1 network for entertainers, and we turn them into entrepreneurs. And tonight we got a special guest. Y'all know it's Women's History Month. It's Women's Empowerment Month. It's just women all year. I might as well just retire. You feel me? But tonight we got a top shotter, right? This lady is a boss lady for real. She's doing her thing. She's been international, and she's worked with some of the biggest artists in the game, and you're going to hear all about it right now. So let me get to the intro. Y'all know how we do. This is bosstalknation.com. If you want to leave a comment or anything for Soaky, you know what I'm saying? That's the guest tonight, Soaky Siren. And we can leave a comment anywhere you're watching this. And then I'll put it up there if you want to answer a question or show your support. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's get to the intro, and then we're going to start the show. So you want to be a boss. You going to be a legend. You going to go down as one of the greats. Well, welcome to the place where all of that begins. See, for me, I started off in the booth. I was writing rhymes, I was coming up with concepts, and we were putting in long nights to make those dreams come true. But along the way, I learned some lessons. That the real power in the game wasn't in front of the camera, it's behind the camera. And as I learned how to go from an entertainer into an entrepreneur, a burning desire to spread that knowledge to others who were just like me started to brew. And then it started to bubble until it overflowed. And the first thing I did was go find other bosses, other people who were like-minded and had a vision and wanted to change the culture forever, to provide the information and the resources and the network necessary to change the game. So we formed Boss Talk Nation. CEOs from different area codes. People who are the greats and the goats in their lane. And we put it all together. Because like the great Chuck D said, it'll take a nation of millions to hold us back. And now that we got Boss Talk Nation, you're going to need a lot more than that. What up, what up, what up? We are back in the building. You see who I got in the building. Miss Soaky Siren doing her thing, shutting them down. Say what's up to the people.
What's good? What's good? Thank you for the warm welcome.
Of course. I had to show love. You know what I mean? So let the people know people who may not have heard of you, or are just coming across your music, or just getting your vibe. Let them know who you are, what you do, and why you are a boss lady for real.
Listen, I'm Soaky Siren. I am from the Bahamas. I'm an artist. I am a songwriter. I've written for a number of people. And I mean, I'm a boss just because I just blazing the trail, and I feel like whatever it is that I'm building, that means I would be the first to have ever built it. So I'm learning every day, and I just trying to blaze the torch.
I see you. So, like I said, I did some research on you, and you're definitely multi-talented. So let's start there. Like, where did all of that start at? Like, where did you first get that bug to do music?
From the sandbox, like from time I knew I was gonna be in music, because I like when I was growing up home, because I'm from the Bahamas, like I say, I remember like freestyling, like rapping against people, and it was just something. No matter what, like I can remember I was writing in my mommy closet, like I'll hold away, throw on some headphones, and just like start penning lyrics and stuff like that. And I stubborn. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And it is what it is. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes, as an artist, you definitely have to have that drive, and people sometimes they don't see the vision, but you see it. So, talk about that. Like when you first start now, we all been kids. Hey, mom, I want to be a superstar. I'm going to be a NFL. My thing was football, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to, right under where the pros is. So my whole thing was people say, oh, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And then you get there and it's like, okay, now I'm right here, but it's 1,000 other people that's right there that have been doing it their whole life too. So Let them know what it feels like when you first starting out to make other people believe in your dream.
You know, you have to believe in yourself to a fault, because even now at the stage that I'm at, it
Mhm.
is a chore and a mission, and you will lose your mind trying to convince everybody to see the vision, because that's the thing. You have a unique vision, which means whatever you see now don't really exist. So
Right,
you bent on it. Like, so your best bet is not to just run around trying to convince everybody. It's more so just to actually mobilize the resources that you need,
right,
and that the people and the a small, and it don't need to be a bunch of people. It's just a trusted few that
right,
you know that you can delegate and reach out to, and who can procure certain things in order for you to build what you need to build.
right. And that speaks to collaboration. And you have been one of the people who have, you've collaborated with a bunch of people. So let people know, as far as a songwriter, you got a lot of accolades. People may not, some of their favorite songs, you had a little, something to do with that behind the scenes. So just let some people know some of the biggest songs and things that they would know that they didn't even know you had something to do with it.
I mean, I don't know what people be listening to, but I worked on Tiptoe for Jason Derulo, a single that came out on Maroon 5 called Nobody's Love came out last year. Um, Big Frida, the third ward bounce EP that she did, I did about four of those songs on there. So karaoke featuring Lizzo, Rent as well, and Third Ward Bounce, and there was another one play. And then I also did. I have a single with. No, I said Maroon 5. Who else? I be
That's,
forgetting. Right?
that's got Chris Brown on there, you know what I mean?
But he was a feature. That was Rita
Right.
Ora single, and
Mhm.
that was called Body on Me featuring
Okay.
Chris. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So yeah.
I see you. I mean, the publishing must look really good around there. You know what I mean? Soaky Siren Incorporated. You know what I mean? I might have to holler at you, get a little merge, a little 10% or something.
Let me tell you, that side ain't, it is, the industry is an interesting one. Let's put it
Right.
that
I'm
way.
with you. Trust me. I know. I know.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that. So, for people, because we always build this platform for people who are either on the next level or people who are aspiring to get to the next level. And it's like you just said, for people from the outside looking in, they think it's all glitz and glamour. But it's a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, and a lot of heartache. You know what I mean? So talk about it from somebody who's been behind the scenes, and the difference of being behind the scenes and working and creating a project to being the artist on the stage, always performing for the people.
I mean, I feel like that's a two-part question. Ask me that again.
All
So,
right. So, all right. First part. How
uh,
is it to work behind the scenes, and then we'll get to the second part.
but basically, it is like you said, that what you see, what meets the eye, is not exactly what is.
Right.
It is a lot. It is frustrating. A lot of times, like, people, you might look at, you see my releases and my
Right.
discography, but you don't know that I probably wrote like hundreds and hundreds of songs within that year, and only one of them came out as a single. And
Right.
I'm sure at the end of the day, if you was a songwriter, if it ain't a single, then you you're not gonna see anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you look at the streaming, like, what you're gonna get, if it's not a big record, you might as well buy a pack of cashews from the corner store, whatever. So, it's a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of brokenness in the industry in terms of how people get compensated, who gets the cuts and stuff like
Right.
that. That's a different TED talk for a different day. But it is, again, to your point, like, the work and the time spent is not, like, what you see is not indicative of the headache and the
Right.
frustration and the foolery, right? So that's the first part of your question. Give me the second part.
Right. So the second part now is being the person that is the artist, right? And people who collaborate sometime, like, say you might have different songwriters, you may have a choreographer, but then you're the person that the public sees.
Right.
So talk about taking the knowledge that you know from working behind the scenes. How does that benefit you when you're on stage and you're the one that's the star of the show?
I mean, to be honest, like, I'm still learning, like, that's a lesson that I'm learning, because, again, like, I didn't going into my project, I didn't realize all of these things, but now you get to see how these people are all parts of the whole.
Right.
And even getting to get, it's by no means easier, obviously, but it really is take a village to get these things into the world, you know?
Right. And that's key because, you know, I'm big on collaboration. Like the whole like premise of our business is called Boss Talk Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like basically a collective of everybody from everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. That if you have a little bit, like say if we're building a fire and you got a little flame and I got a little flame and somebody else got a little flame, we put it together, you got a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, today with artistry and just being a creative, people are underestimating the power of the collective, of the group, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And like you just said, how you're the artist, but you need the right photography. You need the right director to shoot that video to have you looking just right. You need somebody to write the treatment to the video,
Yeah.
right? And then you may a producer. You may have, especially let's say R&B or Caribbean music or any type of genre, somebody who's the best percussion, somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's the best bass player, somebody who, you know, sings the backgrounds and do your bridges and make them sound, you know, great. So, you know, for your projects that you've put out, talk about some of the lessons you've learned from people you've worked with and stuff like that.
I honestly, I've learned that the idea of collaboration and just not necessarily being, because I have a tendency to be very introverted and I like my solitude. But at the
Right,
same time, you know, when you trying to build, that's not the right kind of space to be in, because at the end of the day you have no idea who can connect you with somebody that will be a game changer
right,
for your journey. So basically, literally like leveraging, and I hate to use leveraging because it's feel like you're using people in a sense, but like more so like when you have trusted people, when you have that kind of rapport with people,
right,
you know, allow that to create more opportunity. Like you create, the goal is to create an ecosystem around yourself.
right,
And, you know, literally you have one thing watering the next. You know?
right,
So it's kind of like having that kind of mindset, and it's an exercise in practice, man, because I don't want to sit here like I have it figured out, because I don't, but
right,
I'm learning this as I go along, you
right.
know.
And that's key. I mean, we all learning. I mean, even some of the people that are masters, the legends, they, you know, the people who are successful, when you talk to them, they're still learning. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And things change. The game has changed just in the last few years. And we're going to give people a little sample because I'm going to show your website and show everybody what you got going on. So let's do that real quick, and then I'm going to ask you a few more questions. But I just want, before I go to there, I
Ooh.
just want to let them know y'all about to see something that y'all never seen before, right?
Hmm.
So, you know, this is the. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, I had to let you know. I got to be real. I'm not a hater. You know what I mean?
I
So
appreciate it.
let me show you. Let me show the world what's going on with you, and then we can come back and they'll know why they need to be taking notes tonight when
Oh,
they see this show. All right. So hold on one second. We're gonna share this.
okay.
All right, so here we got the website here, SoakySiren.com.
Yeah.
Definitely nice layout. So this is a bold statement. I would say when you talk about branding, you're definitely, you know, putting that picture, that visual out there to draw the audience. I like the colors, how you have the green couch, then you have a shirt on that blends with it, and then it looks like the background goes with it. So let's talk about this photo real quick. What went into it, and
Hmm.
how did you, you know, what was the concept?
The concept was, let me tell you, there wasn't a concept, there was a reality, right? And that
Okay,
reality was peak pandemic, gotta figure it out, gotta pivot. That's all
right,
you're seeing in this photo, right? So
right,
my one of my closest friends in LA is a photographer, an amazing photographer, artist, creative director.
right.
I was like, I gotta get ready for. I needed press photos and stuff like that. And my stylist Manon, she always has, you know, when I say like this the aesthetic, she's the
Right,
girl like knows how to pull the right things. And literally, I was like, y'all gonna be familiar with this couch because this is my couch. And I
right.
literally took it out of the living room into the back area by me,
Hmm.
and this is how we have this. You know, I was just like, let me make sure I oil up the legs a little bit. You know, beat my face a little bit the best way I
Right,
know how. But this
right.
is, again, this is not a concept. This is a reality in this photo.
I
So
mean, yeah, you guys pulled it off. I mean, you would think that, now you telling me the backstory, and that's why I asked those questions for the audience, because the artist that's coming up, they need to see that you can do something just with a little bit of thought and creativity, because this looks like a big shoot, like you went somewhere to a big studio, and even the way you coordinated the colors, and I think that's key because it draws the eye to you. And like you said, trust me, I mean, I've done television, I've done a lot of stuff, and sometimes you got to get that lotion in, and then real quick, because you got to
put some gold flecks in it if you want to get some bronze in. You know what I mean? Like,
can't be ashy on the album cover. You feel what I'm saying?
These gotta be moisturized.
Right. I'm with you. All right. So now, another thing that I noticed when I went here, and we're going to get into some of the content in a minute, but like the simplicity, but it's very powerful, because a lot of times with people, you go to their website, they got a lot going on at the same time, and it takes your attention away. But you have a nice clean layout. It's not too much. It's not it's not overbearing. It's not, even with the fact that you would at first think this is more like Nordstrom's or Neiman Marcus or something like that. This, you know what I mean? Like the vibe you're getting from this is like a high end fashion blog or something like that. Right. So talk about that. Even though obviously when you scroll down, we'll get to this video in a minute, because that's a big look to be on that FIFA. You know what I mean? That's worldwide, but just in general, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Like you put, like we talked about the photo, but just the overall feel of the website. Like it definitely, even like you having your merch here and stuff like that.
Like, I mean, the simplicity is just like, I feel like it's a reflection of myself as well. Like I feel like I tend to go towards minimalism, but obviously still having tasteful amounts of like color, aesthetic, and stuff like that. And honestly, my creative team, also, I have to give them a huge hand in that, because they put it together, they made it happen. But also I feel like what's important is when people come to whatever space you're creating for them, it is important that you don't give them too much information, because people can't process it, right? So, I feel like I wanted my website or any space that people come in and look at my brand, I want them to understand the music. You know what I mean? I want them to get that it's that, but I also want them to get the wave, as a island girl, and I like to sauce it up. So I want them to get enough of that, Everything else is just, trying to give tasteful amounts to people we live in a culture where people don't have a huge attention span. So that we don't have to give, I didn't need to drop a thesis on my page.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Now let's check out the video real quick, just for the fans. First, before we play it, like, how did you go? Did you submit a song to EA Sports? I had a good friend over there. Her name is Rafaela Lima, and she's the music coordinator at EA. And she, I would send tracks in and stuff all the time. So talk about how, maybe you ain't got to give up all your secrets, but how you submitted that and it got picked up, and how did that feel?
That's, honestly, this is a case of, again, trusting the process, because I did MIA, and I put it out through AWOL actually, and they had pitched the song, and I didn't pitch it personally. This was pitched on my behalf, and it got in the hands of EA Sports, and we ended up securing this play. So I was really excited about that. But again, it's a classic case of like, my only job is to make the bops. At the end of the day, once you put it into the world, it's in the marketplace of the world, and it's gonna land. It's gonna land. So
that's dope. So let me give them a little sample, a little flavor, and then we'll come back. All right. This is Soaky Siren, and this is something you need to hear right now. All right, let's go. Let me turn it up a little bit.
There we go.
All right, MIA. That is the single. That's fire. I just wanted to, you know what I mean, definitely salute you on that. And let's talk. And now, first of all, for Facebook, YouTube, everybody shut me down. You gave me permission to play that, right? I got the permission.
You got the permission.
All right, pretty appreciate it. So YouTube, leave me alone on that one. I need that promotion. We need that on the web now.
Don't triple no water.
So, that great visuals,
Thank
right?
you.
Definitely video is definitely on point. And I like the song. It's very cool. It's like it give you that vibe. It give you that you riding in the Jeep with the top off. We down in the Bahamas, you know what I mean? You got the big coconut, you know what I mean, with the straw in it, you feel me? And you just vibing. So, it definitely the sound, you can hear the quality in the production. And what was that song? What gave you the inspiration to put that song out?
That one, well, that came together because it was just for me, like I with me being away from home, I usually my compass always points back home. And when I wrote that, I was just reminiscing on like times when the easiest, it was just a simpler and sweeter time when you would just go off grid, and
Right,
especially with a thing, you know what I mean, and just kind of like disappear into your own space and kind of be completely off grid and disconnected from the world. And when by the time as I came, the song actually was released, it turned into something bigger where, we in the middle of a pandemic, and at the end of the day, it's almost imperative. Like self-care does mean sometimes going off grid, you
right.
tapping out, and even better if you have the right person to do that with. So that was the soundtrack for that for me.
Right, definitely, definitely. Now you said something slick. You said that ting, you know what I mean. So let the people know. I mean, what if a fella's out here, they watching the video, they feeling your vibe. I mean, what does it look like if they try to slide in your DM? What get them shut down, and what might get them, a little heart emoji or something.
I mean, well, I'll say what'll get them shut down, right? um, any kind of disrespect, like, just you got to be respectful. That's key.
Right,
You got to be respectful. You got to just, you got to know how to talk to people. You got to know how to talk to women. you
that's
know
true. That's
it's
true.
imperative. That's the
Right.
first. That's the first and the foremost.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. So
Yeah,
let's talk about your homeland, the Bahamas, right? And I've been to Grand Bahama Island before.
that's right.
Oh, that's where you from?
Yeah, nice and free.
Okay.
Nice
I
and
mean,
free.
I was out there. I didn't see where I was going off. Listen, the funny part is I went out there. It was right after a storm, right? And
Mhm.
we stayed at the Xanadu.
Oh, you was back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm an OG, right? They used to have this thing called the Mix Show Power Summit. So it was where all the artists would come together, right?
Uh-huh.
And they would and they would do showcases. So you might have, Jay-Z, you might have whoever, Chris Brown. I actually saw Chris Brown getting a Subway sandwich in the store right across the street from the hotel. So,
Yeah.
we went out there and, we were just promoting our music and trying to get on. But the thing was, the conference was on one side of the island, and we used to take, because they had it all booked up. So we booked our own flights. Me and my business partner, we were on the Xanadu at the other side of the island. So the
Mm,
hotel was shut down because of the storm, but we got the good rate. And when
yeah.
we first got out the hotel, we first got out the airport, it was kind of shocking because it was like this small little airport, and I'm like, "You sure we good?" Like, so we pull up, and the guy comes in the van, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got you. I'll take you to the hotel." And he drives to the other side of the island.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
That light is. I'm
so,
sorry. I'm trying to find the lighting.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, you good? Yeah.
We gonna just do this.
You good? You good? Um, what I was saying was, so when we got there, I was like, the guy had me. I started looking around. I'm looking for landmarks. I said, this guy's still driving. Like, where he taking me? You feel me? But eventually we got there, and they had a nice little beach. And what I just had to ask somebody, what's in that water down there? Because I jumped in that water, and some pulse went through the water. I felt like I was 15.
Listen,
I had a lot of energy.
let me tell you something. My water sweet. Trust me. We still trying to get to the bottom within it of what it is in it, but
Right.
it's definitely something. It's something otherworldly. You
Yeah.
know, that's just. And the thing is, you was on Xanadu Beach. You ain't even been to like the beaches.
See, I gotta come out there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta step my game up.
I from Freeport, so I get
Okay.
to say this. Like Xanadu Beach ain't the beach that you.
That's the hood.
No, wait, but that ain't the first beach I'll take you to.
Okay.
It's
Hey, well, when the next time if things open, when we finally can move around, we
yeah,
definitely need to come down there and do a exclusive live from the Bahamas. You feel me? But
you have to.
yeah, man. So let's talk about some of the how that Caribbean flavor, how that infuses in your music and your style. Because we hear it, right?
Yeah.
But what about makes gives you an advantage because you have that flavor.
I mean, I think anytime you create art and and it's authentically done, I
Right.
think that's going to serve you, significantly. But also like it's again like where the sum of our experiences. So when I write music and certain things take me back to certain moments in my life,
Right.
usually does involve like the way the like dance hall settings and parties and things that I used to go to, and then also like just the music that I grew up listening to, even though I listen to every kind of music, but particularly like dance hall and reggae and soca was just an everyday soundtrack for me. So that you definitely hear that in the music that I'm creating.
Yeah. So what's some of the legends, some of the dance hall, legends that you looked up to as a young guy out there, you know what I mean? At the party hall and all that.
I listen to like I'm a huge Sizzler fan.
Okay.
Who who else? Like shoot, Lady Saw,
Okay. Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Um, but I used to listen to it all, really. Beanie Man, all of them. Like I
Yeah.
loving all of that. So
Okay, that's what's up. I mean, yeah, Lady Saw was definitely dope.
woo,
Buju Banton, man, he's like the DMX of reggae artists. You know what I mean?
so legendary. It's
Yeah,
crazy. He's
yeah.
so
So
legendary.
what's one thing for the young ladies? Because I know you as a woman in the business, you probably had your share stories of having to check people. So what's
Mhm.
some advice you could give to a young artist, a young lady that's trying to step it up to that next level?
I would say, obviously, like at all times, like anything that you are not happy, any situation that you feel is questionable,
Hmm.
it's questionable for a reason. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
do not doubt yourself, do not doubt your worth. And also like just be continuously mindful of your worth. You
right,
do not allow anyone to dictate that to you.
right,
And don't allow anyone to gaslight you for
right,
asserting what you know. You know what I mean?
right,
Think that you have to fall in line and this, that, and the next. Like that's yeah. I just put out a single, which pretty much is like, at the end of the day, you don't have to be nice. This expectation of like if your bag ain't getting issue on time and precisely, there's nothing to smile about. You don't have to be, this not the season to be playing with people.
right. I'm with you. And see that comes to you in my that's leadership and that's you knowing your value.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
it's
that's
important.
something that, yeah, it's something artists need to understand that they have a lot of value and worth, and people are attracted to your gift for a reason. And
Yeah,
when people try to, it's one thing to be flexible and work with people because I think women get a bad rap of being a diva, and being hard to work with. So let's get that out before we get out of here. Let's get that established.
let me tell you something. I say this to a lot of people. Whenever people throw that word, like notice there's not much of a male equivalent to
Right,
that, and there's a
right,
reason for that. Like I feel like the reason for that is because when that behavior is exhibited among men or by men, it's just accepted.
right,
It's not challenged, or
right,
it's not called out.
right,
All in all, it's just, you're a diva when expectations haven't been met or balls have been dropped. And
right,
it's just like one of the main things that I have to deal with too. Like I'm realizing like as an entrepreneur, as an artist, you are not only responsible for the balls you drop, but for the balls that you didn't drop.
right,
So when accountability needs to take place, like I am beginning to see, it's like, do you sit uncomfortably when balls are being dropped and you just suck it up and take that L, or do you have to call out the behavior and
right,
say, answers.
I
Not
would say, yeah, I would say always call it out. It's just a time and a place to do it. If we're in front of somebody who's not in the inner circle, then we can deal with that in the Sprinter van. You feel me? Or when we get back to the hotel.
listen, always be professional. I mean,
Right.
like, I ain't saying to like start having head. I will say I've seen cases where the diva card is thrown when again it's just people demanding accountability, and people don't like that.
Right.
When it because if you ain't cursing nobody out and acting or putting on a display, then what you getting called a diva for?
Right.
You just had, in most cases, people just are frustrated or can't take that kind of strength and that energy from a woman. It's still apparently still a thing.
Right. I'm with you. And you know what it is too, that I would say sometimes that can work for your brand. Like Naomi Campbell, I think she was the one with the cell phones and she was smacking people, and that just became part of her brand to the point where it was like, she might slap somebody, but it made her fan base bigger. And then I don't know if you ever, this might be a little old school for you, but you ever saw the movie Boomerang?
Boomerang.
Eddie Murphy and Halle Berry.
I don't remember the plot.
Yeah, but you heard of it.
Yes.
You should. Well, it's on Netflix or something. When you get a chance, you can watch it. It's this lady on there. Her name is Strong J, right?
That's who Grace Jones played.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you saw the scenes you need to see.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that can work for you if you can pull it off. You know what I mean?
Or if you could avoid catching charges.
Well, that's why you need that legal team.
Jeez.
You feel me? But like I said, so let's talk about the new music. You know what I mean? What do you want people to know about what's coming out and why they should pay attention?
So I just put out a single, Top Gal, and I have the visual coming out in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And I just, people should stay tuned just because, and I also have some features. I can't let the cat out the bag yet, but I also have a feature coming up. And, the EP, I'm putting out an EP towards the third quarter. So I will be rolling out singles from the EP throughout the year.
Okay.
So it's going to be more music. It's going to be more waves. And, I'm just trying to tap into different spaces and stuff. So I definitely would like people to just, listen to the music, listen to the stories, and stay tuned.
Definitely. And that's something that, we want people to go check out Soaky Siren on social media and SoakySiren.com. And is there anything you want to say to the people before, we sign off, and anything, some inspiration that you can give to the next artist coming up?
Just keep going. Literally at the end of the day, you have to be your own champion and your own cheerleader. So just go. Just keep going.
Okay. That's what's up. All right. So I want to thank you for coming through. It was a great conversation, and I wish you nothing but success. And I really could see your brand taking off. You got the fashion, you got the music, you got the presence. So next time I'm coming to Bahamas, we'll definitely, reach out and say, yo, show me the beaches, show me what's going on out there.
You got to go to the right beach.
Hey, I'm trying. All right. Yeah. All right. So thank you. And, I'll see you again. You'll be back on.
Yes, sir. Thank
you. Hopefully you won't be too busy for me, right? Then I say, yo, she a diva, yo. She ain't want to come do the show.
No such thing as a diva. No, man. I'm gonna be like, that's easy. I'm gonna let Hef know.
That's what's up. Big shout to Big Hef, Money Matt.
Out
there. It's Balls Talk, baby. All right. So let them know out in Bahamas, Balls Talk is official.
Period. That's already signed and sealed.
That's what's up. All right. Good night. I'm gonna holler at you next time.
All right. Take care.
That's what's up.
All right, peace.
All right, so y'all see what's going on. We had Soaky Siren in the building. She's doing big things, making major moves, and she definitely taught y'all a lesson tonight about having pride in what you do, being able to style and put your brand together and put your vision together so that people will resonate with it. They'll be attracted to it, and be yourself. Everybody's unique. Everybody has something to offer that nobody else has. And I think if you take anything from tonight, The lesson is to make sure you always present yourself in the best light, right? And Soaky Siren's definitely, she got the hot music, she's got the look, she's got the flavor, and she should be doing big things. So for anybody out there, if you got an artist or you got a label and you're trying to get your brand popping, you see the number at the bottom of the screen, 844-700-2677. That's 844-700-2677. This is the #1 platform for entertainers that's trying to level up to entrepreneurs. Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to go get it for yourself. Go get it out the mud, and we'll turn it into gold. So this is your boy, Jay Gibson. Check me out. Make sure you subscribe. BossTalkNation.com. That goes straight to the YouTube. You can subscribe. And also on Facebook, Boss Talk TV. You need to follow, not just like the page, but also hit the notification bell and follow us. So when the next show come up, you'll be in tune for it. So we're going to salute y'all tonight. Big shout out to Just Jay out there, that Hype Magazine. And she doing her thing. But like I said, this is the one and only Boss Talk. Y'all know what it is. A lot often imitated, but never duplicated. Good night.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
It's really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine.